What up, everyone? Welcome back to our Saturday sports card talk show. With us is my homie Picksburgh. What up, bud?
What up? How you guys doing today?
Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all.
You know what I like? I like the fact that you're coming proper with that jersey tonight, man.
I try to do it on the Saturday show, just cause,
Yep. You'd be a lot cooler if you'd put a plus 15 next to the 2, though, because then you'd be Bears out. Shout out to the local Turner's Tea. If you're not from Pittsburgh, you're missing out. They make the best tea on earth.
How's things going with you, man?
Good, man. Just been super busy. Life continues to advance and move on, and things are good, man. I'm getting prepped for the National, which is going to be wild. Really looking forward to that. Just realizing just how big it is, though, is a little bit overwhelming. You know what I mean? Thinking about like a show that you need like 5 days to get through. That's a little bit wild. But I think I'm going to roll in there like I did when we went to the storage auction, where I just had my metal folding chair. I think I'm going to roll in there a la Tony Hansen, just because your boy ain't finna be standing all them hours. So I'm parked right in front of someone's bargain box.
Heck yeah.
Just go to town, because that's how I roll, man.
I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of people. I don't know how much people are going to bring like on the bargain variety, but I'm sure there will be, some people that bring some just heavy cards. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm sure there'll be some bargain boxes and stuff, because I know Card Collector 2 has talked about basically going through them pretty heavy at shows in the past. But I do think you're right in the sense that they do need to come correct with their like big stuff, because you figure one table there is $250, like literally just for one folding table. So you need to have some inventory on that table that are going to get you that $250 fast to make it worth your time and everything, which in that type of environment, man, like $250 is not going to be hard. That's like one slab being sold. Definitely. And you figure the people that go there, they're all looking for grail pieces, or, for example, if I'm going there, I'm looking for a card that is going to be something that I'm going to always look back fondly on the trip for. So I think a lot of people are doing that. And right now, I just think with the way the market is, like so many people want slabs. So just having those out in abundance just make it easy to make sales.
I mean, just from a buyer and a seller perspective, having no sales tax, having no eBay fees or even PayPal fees, and even PayPal fees at I think around 3% or whatever the case may be. You're going in there and you're spending some big money on some, say, LeBron rookies or other cards, maybe Durant or somebody like that. I mean, that all adds up really quickly. So if you're going and buying some of those bigger name cards and things like that, it doesn't take much to get $250 in value just doing that. So
exactly.
And then it's all business expense. There's no cost. I mean, there's cost, but I mean, your business can cover and it's a tax write-off because it's a business expense, and you get to kind of enjoy it as well.
Yep, exactly. I'm looking forward to it, man. There's gonna be a lot of cool people there that we get to see on YouTube all the time that you never get to meet in person. So I'm looking forward to that aspect of it as well, getting to meet and associate with some people, and getting to meet a lot of people that even watch the videos on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Like that's going to be really cool. Be rewarding for me.
Definitely. I don't think my notification has went off to anybody.
It didn't. I haven't got one yet. Normally it'll pop up towards the bottom of my screen right as we go live. It has not. YouTube's like, this guy still making content over there?
Right? Like we don't need to let nobody know about him over here. Sheesh.
YouTube, show your boy some love over there. He even came correct with the Cleveland Cavalier jersey on today.
Right? Like, what in the world is going on?
Vescovi's in the house. What's up, my guy? Good to see you.
What up?
Vescovi, did you get a notification, or did you just see like a thumbnail on YouTube? Just out of curiosity, because I think YouTube might have broke Nate's alarm system.
I think they totally did, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, normally I get something pop up towards the bottom of my screen when you go live, and it's very silent down there today.
That's part of the reason why I waited an extra half hour and everything too.
Just to get that notification.
Yeah, I did it an hour before and nothing.
Oh, Matthew got a notification. That's what's up.
Okay, cool.
So maybe it's only broke on some people then.
Yeah, maybe just maybe it's only it only went out to so many people so far. I don't know.
Maybe it only went out to the people that really like you. That's why there's only like a few of us here. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But that must mean something good for me because I showed up like in the flesh almost.
Right.
So
I even wore the Cleveland gear, and
I know it was like catnip. I was like, "Ooh, somebody got some calves."
I mean, I'm not on this train yet, but I mean, I got the jersey on.
Yeah, you're getting there.
What up, D-Rock?
What's up, Derek? He goes, "We love you, Dizzy."
Appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing good, buddy.
Yeah. So what's good in the hood with you guys, Vescovi, Derek? How's your week been? You pick up any good cards or anything crazy go down? Nate beat up any little kids on Grand Theft Auto that I need to hear about?
Nah. been having issues with a couple cities I've been playing in, so I'm probably going to move to another one now again.
Turf War.
Nah, not anything like that. Nah, just they updated some stuff, so everything's kind of down right now. So haven't been able to get on and play as much.
Nice. D-Rock got his package. Yeah, man. I figured you'd probably want them cars to be slanging some of them. So we still got to connect on IG at some point, my man. So let me know what days and times are good for you. I want to get that going some point soon. Preferably like to kick that off before I go to the national, but that's going to be pretty wild, though. I'm looking forward to that, man. It's going to be a good time. Going to get my wings under me because I've heard Dallas is even bigger than the National, which is crazy because the National is kind of like the Super Bowl of wrestling. Or not wrestling, sports cards. Thinking of WrestleMania there for a minute.
Is there WrestleMania there?
No.
I thought that's why you're thinking about it.
No, I was just thinking of it because I like wrestling.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I've heard Dallas is even bigger than the National, so I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that because normally I'm used to, like, I grew up thinking Kennywood was awesome, which for those of you guys who aren't from Pittsburgh, it's like the biggest amusement park we have here in Pittsburgh. It's pretty cool if like you're used to small amusement parks, but like once you've gone to Disney, it makes Kennywood kind of suck, even though like my whole life I grew up thinking, man, Kennywood is like the bee's knees. Like it doesn't get any better than that. And it's right here in our backyard. And then I go to Disney for like the first time and I was like, wow, Kennywood kind of sucks. And I kind of feel like that's like what the National's going to do to me with card shows. So I feel like right now I'm thinking, oh man, this is awesome. Like just local card community and stuff like that, which it is awesome to like have the local community. But I feel like I'm about to like go to like the big show, you know what I mean? And like just to think like one of the biggest shows I've been to had like 100 tables, and the one I'm going to is going to have roughly 500 to 1,000. It's like 5 to 10x like what I'm used to doing. So that's pretty dope.
T-Rex, so you got a LeBron PSA 9 and a giveaway from Whatnot. That's pretty cool.
Awesome, my man. That is awesome. I can't wait to get on that app, man. I am been waiting patiently for like over a month trying to get up on there. I also applied for what the heck's it called? Break app or something like that. I can't remember what it is. Breaker or something. Just heard about it the other day whenever I did that live stream with To the Moon Collectibles. Apparently it's like the Whatnot for breakers, which is really cool. The only difference is rather than doing it on their platform, they direct traffic to your platform, which me as a content creator, all the traffic I can get come to my platform, bueno, very bueno. So definitely want to do that, especially because being somebody that's just starting to do breaks and stuff like that, it's hard to like get a following for it and stuff. So having something like that could be potentially pretty awesome for, getting started and getting some clientele and stuff.
I think it's pretty awesome what they're doing. Like a live auction and, no fees. And I mean, can't beat that, man.
Dude, Whatnot's awesome, man. It's like basically if you married eBay and like what we do on Sundays into like a quicker auction.
That's what I was gonna say. It's basically that exactly, basically.
And honestly, like they're like the PSA mindset too, like of reselling cards, because typically you get top dollar on Whatnot. Like you'll get cards that are like, sales that are like considerably above like what the last sold eBay comps are and stuff on there, which is like really cool. Like from a seller perspective, I guess if you're a buyer, it kind of sucks, but if you want the card, you want the card. You know what I mean? Like for example, I'd be willing to spend $3 over eBay comps on a Verjao just because he's the man.
Yeah, if it's especially if it's something low print, you know what I mean? Like how you got that RPA that was 25 or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Throwing out an extra couple bucks on something like that, which is not, it's pretty rare, or it's already slapped up. Why not?
Absolutely. Yeah, D-Rock, we're trying to get on there, man. That would be amazing.
I wonder if since like a lot of these different platforms are popping up, I mean, always social media has always done well with just about everything. People are kind of drifting away from eBay and different things, because I know I've put some cards up on eBay and it's been slow moving on some stuff. I mean, I know the market's not the same as last year, but still, I mean, some of these cards and some of these guys, you would think they would move, even if you price them like right up around what the market's at and everything. You know what
I mean? Matthew said, "How you doing selling football, dude? Football is selling like hotcakes, bro. Like I can't keep football in stock right now. Like that's the biggest thing. Like actually, right here, this PSA box is literally nothing but football singles from the bargain bin. I just grabbed from Kel's just for the auction on Sunday, because literally every single Sunday I sell out of all my football. So yeah, football is crazy right now, man. It's kind of like I liken it almost to Zion Mania, like where people are just wild for Lawrence, man. But I'm liking it. Football is where it's at right now. It's like the complete opposite of basketball. And then the great thing is once football cools down, basketball will get hot again, and then like all my other inventory is going to start flying out. What platform are you selling on? So I sell on eBay, a little bit on Mercari, although I literally, full transparency, just shut down my Mercari store this week because I kept selling stuff on there that I'd already sold on eBay. And it just gets to be too much to like keep up with so many. So officially eBay is like one of my primaries, although I've been moving most of my stuff to social media and to like our auctions and stuff, just so I don't have to pay the fees and stuff. Plus, honestly, like I would rather you guys get a really good deal than me have to sit there 6 months on a card that's worth $3. You know what I mean? I would rather you just get it for $1. You know what I mean? Then that way you can either make the extra $2 or keep it, So that's been kind of like my strategy as of late, is to move as much as I can off of like platforms that take longer to move and or take higher percentage fees. I still will use eBay on like consignment cards or like stuff that, I want to get top dollar for. Like say, for example, if I have like $150 into a card and it's worth 190, like I'd like to get as close to my money back and profit as possible. But like, say if I pull a card out of a pack, you know what I mean, and it's worth $5, I don't care if I sell it to somebody for $3. That doesn't matter to me. I just want to get it moved so I'm not sitting on inventory, and I continue to turn and burn and pick up the things that I know are going to make me money, whether that's, stuff that I'm going to send off to get graded and end up getting 4 to 10x my money, or it's just something that I know that one of my friends' PCs that they're going to be like, oh yeah, I'll pick that up. So typically for me right now, it's mainly eBay, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube is the primary.
Yeah, whenever these other sets start coming out, Matt, score stuff will be a little bit harder to move, and everyone's likes the newest, shiniest thing. So people will move on to the other stuff, and those sets will get harder and harder, and their value will drop too.
Hey, Kathy, good to see you.
What up?
Being here.
Appreciate you being here. Good to see you.
Shout out to a local Picksburgh.
You know what? Matthew says, but eBay isn't worth individual cards. Lots seem to do better. See, I don't know. I haven't done lots on there, but I see a lot of lots. But as a buyer, eBay just doesn't do a great job, like with the pictures and stuff like that. The pictures are so small unless you literally click on them, which a lot of people, just scrolling by will see just a bunch of cards. You know what I mean? Like if eBay could do better job with like the lot showing more of more of the better, like a better picture or something like that, or make the when you click on the actual listing, like maybe make the picture bigger or whatever, like that would help sell lots a lot better. But for me, I always like to scroll past them just because a lot of time it's it's just hard to see what the cards are and conditions and stuff like that. But I mean, I've sold a lot of singles on there. I mean, raw, slabs and all types of stuff. And what they did with the envelopes helped out a lot, especially with the single cards, because you didn't want to have to pay all that shipping on each order. Maybe a card's only worth a couple bucks, or you catch on a guy that maybe not a lot of value right this second, but soon will have a lot of value.
Yep.
And you're paying just double the price because of shipping and stuff like that.
You know what I don't like about that standard envelope, though? I don't know if anybody else has had this issue. Every single time somebody tries to hit me with, I didn't get my card, and it shows as they got their card, but it's a standard envelope, eBay always gives them the return. Like they ain't get their card. This has happened to me 3 or 4 separate occasions now where somebody's like, I never got my card. Then I look up the tracking with the eBay number that they give you for the standard envelope. It shows they got their card, but they're saying they didn't, and they're filing it as, well, I never got my card, and eBay sides with them, which I don't get. That's happened to me 4 different times now with the standard envelope, and the only reason I didn't really fight it is because they were on, like, first time it was on a $1 card. I'm like, whatever, dude. If you're going to fight me over a $1 card, more power to you.
Wasn't there insurance of $20 on each, $20 or less on each envelope, right?
Well, there may be, actually. I didn't even think to file something with the USPS, but I mean, either way, the cards got there.
I think that's with eBay, though. I think
it literally shows dropped off at mailbox. You know what I mean? Like,
I thought eBay had that built in, where like it came with $20 insurance through eBay, from what I understood.
Well, they need to hook their boy up then, because like I got screwed 4 times on that.
Yeah,
like, granted, it was like $1 and $2 cards, so I don't care. Like I think the most expensive one was like a $3. It was like a mosaic of like Paul George or something like that. But other than that, it was all like cheap low end stuff, and really it was just like players that were hot in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So I must have got that like little bit of a playoff push, like because one of them was Paul George. I sold through a bunch of DeAndre Ayton stuff recently, just because obviously the Suns are on a tear. But I honestly, dude, I haven't really listed pretty much anything that was not a consignment card-wise on eBay recently, just because it's just so much easier just to go live and be like, okay, who wants it? You know what I mean? Rather than, because man, like especially on those like low-end cards, like if you're going to list a Verjao, you need to wait on a guy like me to be searching for him, or else it's just literally going to sit there because no one wants to buy it. You know,
right.
So that's like for example, I have a monster box sitting here right to the left of me. Every card that's in it has been listed since the pandemic, and none of them have sold yet. I mean, every once in a while, like maybe once or twice a week, I might hear a cha-ching, and it's like a $3 card here, a $4 card there, a $1 card here. You know what I mean? But for the most part, like I would be better off just taking those, breaking them down in team lots and blowing them through the auction and being done with it, and put that money back into something that I can send off and, potentially, get something for my PC or, grade something or whatever. You know what I mean? So I just really, really like that aspect of it. You know what I mean? Like when you leave meat on the bones, you have people coming back when they're hungry. You know what I mean? So like for me, I've just always found that it's a little bit easier in that case, especially when it's something I'm not super attached to. You know what I mean? Like if it's something like I would PC, or if it's just something that's like super liquid, like I'm not going to just throw out like my Luka Doncic graded rookie cards and be like, here guys, you can have this for like 40% under eBay comps. Like for all that, I might as well just be like, here's my wallet, take what you want. But
right.
For the most part, on like your average card that anybody can find on eBay for the exact same price, anytime, day or night, like I don't mind giving discounts on that kind of stuff. I've just found that it definitely helps move a lot of stuff a lot faster.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, uh, the envelope has been awesome. It's just like I said, they have something built in. I just can't remember if it's with eBay or with the post office, but I thought it was with eBay. But if they didn't automatically just give them the refund and you got to keep your money, then it must be with the post office then. So I mean, but like you said, it's only a few bucks. But I mean, if you had more of those pop up, I would just do one big, call on it and see what you can do, because they will cut you a check. You know what I mean? So.
Yep.
Kathy says she shared it out. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate
Kathy,
you.
appreciate you. Yeah, I think Nate's beard scares people away. That might be
guess.
for him tonight.
I guess
they want to see what's underneath there.
we had a good time for the auction last week, and then our Saturday shows sometimes are hit and miss depending on what's going on. I know a lot of people.
It's tough because Saturday is a big night for people to socialize, but then it's also a big night for breaking. It's a big night for auctions and other live streams and stuff too. So sometimes it gets a little difficult and a little hairy this time of night. But we appreciate you guys that come spend some time with us and like to listen to us talk about Anderson Varejao. At least I appreciate that part.
So you're talking about you're selling a lot of 8 and stuff like that. What do you think about the finals so far, man? Have you been watching any of the hoop?
Yeah, I've been watching. Honestly, I'm surprised it's not a little bit closer than it's been. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of close that last game in the first half, but then it kind of just got away from them. But dude, I think it's a done deal, man. Like, I think Phoenix has this in the bag. Like, it's just their year, man. So glad I sent that Chris Paul in to get graded.
Yeah, like they were definitely one of the teams that I liked, going through, and a lot of it is just injuries, man. Like, they really didn't get hit with the injury bug all that much. Chris Paul had some issues early on, and then he kind of fought through it. And I think he missed a little bit of time in a couple other games through the series, but whenever you got your stars like Booker and Aiden's been playing like a monster. Chris Paul's a great player, and he showed it in, I believe, game 1 he scored 32 points in, which, that's very uncharacteristic for him. But, he wants it, man. Like, that's the only reason why he even is still playing, probably, is because of that.
Didn't he get him in a category with just AI and Michael Jordan?
With what do you mean?
I could have sworn I saw him post something. No. I saw AI post something on IG about that 42-point game. Like, it showed like a 3-tier thing. Like, in NBA history, the only ones to have done whatever that feat was Chris Paul, Michael Jordan, and Allen Iverson.
I don't know. I didn't even see what that stat was or whatever.
Yeah, I don't remember what the exact stat was, but whenever he hit that 42-point game, there was something that he did that kind of got him in that like elite category.
Maybe that was
something to do with finals or what.
Maybe had his career high in the finals or something like that, or in the playoffs or something, maybe. Because I highly doubt he scored more than that in the game. You know what I mean? Like, he's been known for being a point guard and having his assists and I mean, he does score, but having anything more than 20 would be, I would say, uncharacteristic for him, because he just doesn't shoot a whole lot. So.
Yeah, Vescovi has a good point. He says, everyone's always looking for a deal, just can't seem to get my sales where I want them. I prefer to roll my cards into PC cards. I don't think I'm asking comp prices. So, yeah, everybody definitely does want a deal, man. Like, what I had to do early on, like, for example, when we started our auction, like, it was the first time we'd done other auctions on YouTube where basically we were selling a bunch of bulk lots of stuff that we got out of storage units and whatnot, where we were attracting a completely different clientele. So, like, these auctions, like, in the very beginning, like, I can't speak for Nate, but I know myself, like, I was just throwing crap out there for like $1 a piece just to give people deals, just so they would come back and be like, yeah, this is a good place to come and get stuff. Because for the most part, if you're just putting stuff out at eBay comps, why can't I just go to eBay and buy the exact same thing? You know what I mean? I think that's the way the average consumer thinks. So at least in the beginning, what I would suggest, if you're trying to build some kind of like social media sales kind of thing, I would say find cards and stuff like that you're willing to put up and take a little bit of an L on. And I'm not saying that this is part of a great business plan to take an L on stuff. But when it comes to building a following and like, you know, a following of people that are literally going to want to find good deals, you know what I mean? So in the beginning, you just take a little bit of a loss on some stuff that doesn't mean as much to you. Again, like I said, I'm not pulling out the Luka Doncic graded rookie cards and saying, here you go, guys, have at it, $1 starting bid. But, you know, I might bring out $5 cards and be like, here you go, $1 starting bid, you know, have at it, you know, or something sub $10 and be like, here, $2 or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's a good way to kind of get people, because if you're finding good value, people are going to find, if you're putting out good value, I should say, people are going to find you and people are going to spread the word about you because they're getting good value through you. So that's what I try to do. I've also had a lot of luck on, believe it or not, I actually met Grunt Dad Sports Cards. You guys might know him from our chats. I actually met him because I took several eBay offers that were like well under comps, but it was literally stuff that I had in my monster box sitting there forever. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to let this guy have a good deal. He's going to have a good day and maybe I'll earn some repeat business. And what do you know? He and I are friends now and we watch each other's YouTube videos, all because I said, hey, I'm going to give this guy a good deal. You know, so I really think for me, that's been the biggest thing for my sales. Like, because outside of just having like stellar inventory, like if you're listing graded Lukas, they're going to sell all day, every day anyway. But if you're listing, you know, like Anderson Varejao type stuff, that's the kind of stuff you're going to have to sit on for a long time, especially like most of the stuff I have in here. I have like all kinds of different colored mosaics and stuff that I pulled. And it's like, man, nobody cares about 1920 mosaic anymore. Like, I mean, there might be some people, but for the most part, like people have moved on to bigger and better things. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not like the craze that it was. Like back whenever I listed these, you know, they still probably, they were probably already outside of the craze, you know? What up, Hobby Beast? Good to see you, my man.
What up? Yeah, like, you know, we all make bad buys. You know, nobody can say I have a track record of no bad buys. You know what I mean? It's just, especially with the market being the way it is right now. You know what I mean? Like on a lot of my stuff, I'm probably at break even or I'm, you know, down a few bucks just because I held on to stuff too long. But, you know, that's why like buying, you know, making good buys or getting good deals is so important because when you recognize that, okay, this is somebody or a car that, you know, I shouldn't have bought. You can, you know, take a loss, but, you know, make sure whatever you're putting that money in is going to be something that's going to be, you know, get that money back for you instead of just seeing the market just, you know, go down and down. And say you bought like a base, you know, jar or whatever, and next you know, just, you know, it's just crinkling down. I still have one too. I still haven't sold it. I still have it.
Yeah, but I bought every base jaw. That was the problem I had.
That's one thing. At first, with the hobby, I'm like, why is base the same level as every other set? Like, I never understood that, and that's why, like, I was like, well, I'm just gonna buy the short prints just because.
That was smart.
You know, and you know, luckily for me, you know, for the most part, that market didn't crumble horribly, but it's still.
You know what it might be? When we were growing up, inserts were the short prints. So I wonder if that's why inserts are so much more valuable back then. Whereas like now inserts are basically like garbage. Like they hold zero value. It's like, oh, you mean I can have an instant impact rookie? No one wants the instant impact. They want the base rookie. You know what I mean? Because I think a lot of people think, okay, well, that's the good rookie. That's like their plain rookie. You know what I mean? That's their main rookie card. At least that's the way like I always thought of it coming in, you know, like as a, I don't want to say new collector, but as a like 90s collector, you know, all grown up, like, okay, yeah, you just grab their base rookie card. That's like the way you do it. But I mean, the way the hobby has evolved and just with the pop counts, like you almost want to stay away from that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having the base rookie card. It's just not going to hold the long-term value that some of the short prints will. Dakota, what is up, my man?
What up, man?
See you, brother.
Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Hope all's well.
I was just watching your quarterback video maybe about an hour before we went live, my man. Good stuff.
Yeah, with the inserts from the 90s, those are like, you know, rare, and you know those were cards that were undervalued for like the longest time, and you know certain ones, you know, definitely were killer returns. You know, I had a Kobe that was, you know, that I sold for 600 It was, I think, a silver something top something. I can't remember what it was, but you know what I mean? Those went crazy.
What a
And,
mess.
you know, a lot of the other ones, what up? You know, a lot of the ones that, you know, in the sets now, they're just not getting any love. Like, unless it's somebody that you PC or, you know, a team that you like. Like I wanted to get that one hollow LeBron and I never got it. But, you know, even though, like you said, like the inserts aren't really, you know, one you should get, like that was just an awesome looking card that I had for my PC. And I would just, no matter what the value was, I was going to keep it. But,
Exactly.
yeah, didn't get sent to me eBay. The guy canceled it. Well,
That does suck, dude. I'm still salty over that Steph Curry Topps rookie PSA 9 that I sniped in the middle of the night for just under $400, and he canceled it. I wanted to cry so bad in the morning. Remember how mad I was? That was when we were doing the morning show, dude. I was livid that morning. I was like, man, I literally stayed up till 3:30 in the morning waiting on this thing to go off, and then he wakes up and just like insta like cancels the order on me, and I was so sad.
So that's the one thing that's bad about, you know, eBay. You know, if you put up a card for auction and it sells for crazy amounts of money, the sellers can't wait to send that card out.
Exactly.
And then if it's something that, you know, maybe they picked the wrong time to put it out, or maybe the wrong day, maybe that it wasn't ending right before, after the game's over or whatever. You know, these guys were just, you know, doing whatever and canceling, and there's no actual repercussion to the seller at all. And, you know, it just stinks for the buyer. You know what I mean? So,
dude, you know the crazy thing? You could literally time your auctions on eBay perfectly. Like, for example, if I wanted the next auction I have of, like, say, a Devin Booker to end like midway through this next game, I could pay 10 extra cents and literally have it set for that date and that time. Like, say, halftime of the next game, I think Devin Booker is going to be going wild. I'm going to just set his cards to literally expire that time. And literally all you're paying is an extra 10 cents or something like that per listing to do that. So it's like pretty affordable. And it's definitely well worth it, especially when you're dealing with playoff time with NBA. Because if you think of when the market was more healthy, like during like the big boom when we had the bubble, like it was every single game my cards were just blown up. Like the minute something would happen, cha-ching, 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 like all night long. Like I'll never forget when Jason Tatum went off, man. Like I literally sold through every single Tatum I had listed that night. It was insane. And I had my stuff listed for higher than comps because that's the way I normally would roll in that market because things change so much. I would literally just put a little bit higher than comps, buy it now or best offer, and people would just be buying it now. Like they're not even sending me offers and I'm above the comps. So like that's what I kind of think things can get back to once basketball kind of resurfaces. Obviously it's not going to be as wild, but that's the way NBA playoffs should be. So if you're an auction seller, my opinion is, man, like try to strike when the iron's hot.
Yeah, the way things have gone, it kind of definitely switched the way that I usually do things. Usually I would hold and kind of like a stock. You buy low, you hold on, and it keeps climbing the mountain. Well, you know, not all things do that, and you know, I should have pulled the trigger a little sooner, and I didn't on some stuff. But honestly, like the stuff I have, like a lot of it, I'm happy with. You know what I mean? Like there are guys that, you know, that are young and are having great careers as we speak. Like you know, I got a Giannis, you know, a couple of Giannis rookies and stuff like that. I got a couple of Trays. I got, you know, a bunch of different stuff. So
both of them are going up this offseason too, I would imagine. Like, I mean, obviously they're going to drop once they're eliminated or whatnot, but I would guarantee you, though, holding on to those two cards is paying off for you right now.
All right. So I mean, like, you know, they still have they're young. They still got a lot of basketball left. You know, I got a lot of time to pull the trigger on those cards, and you know, I'll hold on to them. Eventually, at some point, I'll sell them, and then, you know, hopefully, I get a nice return. But I mean, as I sit right now, I'm happy with most of my purchases. To be honest,
dude, honestly, I don't think you have anything I'd be like, oh dang, can't believe he still has that, because the guys you have, like, they're going to still be good next season. They're going to still be good the year after. So they're going to still gain that hype. You know what I mean? Like, look at Trae Young coming into this year. Like, his card literally went from being like a $70 to $90 card to being a $200 card. Now, granted, it fell from grace pretty hard during the season, but You know what I mean? Like those are the type of jumps that we can anticipate seeing coming into the new season with the guys that are hot, with some of the guys that just move teams and stuff like that. You know what I mean? The jumps that we're starting to see with like different markets. You know what I mean? They will come back to basketball. I just think so many people are burnt up in basketball. You know what I mean? It's been like almost like no off season in between seasons this past year. You know what I mean? And just like, I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of people are just burnt out with basketball. I feel like a lot of people just got into basketball just because it was so liquid. Like, you know how many people I know personally that are buying and selling basketball cards don't even know who the players are? You know what I mean? Just because they're liquid. You know what I mean? Like they're getting into it. They're learning that they can just point and scan now on eBay and potentially just find the card that way. You know what I mean? So I think just knowing that basketball cards are liquid, there's a lot of people from like a reseller perspective that have jumped in on the basketball market that may have not been in on some of the other markets just because basketball had been booming at a rate that was much, much bigger than some of the others. And honestly, I think if you don't know the market real well, like a collector would, you may still be buying into the basketball market, not necessarily knowing that a lot of the prices are continuing to kind of fall from grace. So I think there might be a little bit of that to it as well, because I talk to a lot of people all the time, you know what I mean, that may not fully understand, you know, the whole off-seasonal type thing when it comes to sports cards, because I mean that is such a real thing. I think that is part of why football is so hot right now. Obviously Trevor Lawrence helps and stuff like that, but I mean it's about to be football season and Americans love themselves some football. Like outside of church, I don't know of any other big time Sunday traditions outside of watching football. And granted, I'm from Pittsburgh, so we're basically swaddled in terrible towels here. But I mean, like even at church, you got people saying, "Come on, Pastor! Like Steelers are getting ready to kick off here at 1:00, bro."
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, I just think that's like a huge thing. Like, and we saw the same thing with basketball too. Like, because like I said with Trae Young in the beginning of the season, his prices were through the roof because people were anticipating him taking a step forward this season.
But I'm Shane. Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. Yeah, Trae's a free agency always, my man. Did you know what kind of sucks? I just got an email the other day. I just got tickets sent to me for the Cavs are having a draft party literally the day after the Nationals start. So, like, I can't go. So bummed.
Dude, I would, oh, that's right. You're flying. I was going to say I would stop on the way through and be like,
I would, bro. I totally would.
See, you might be able to change your flight to go to Cleveland and then have someone pick you up in Ohio, if possible. Like
well, the problem is the National starts on the 28th, and that is on the 29th. So, like, I'd have to leave, and then, you know, so
okay.
You know what I might do is I might just do a giveaway for like the tickets to go to the Cavs draft party. There'll be like players there and stuff. It's at their actual like, you know, arena and stuff. So anybody wants to come check that out, make sure you come to the auction tomorrow on my channel. I'm gonna be giving away them ticks.
I think so. You found a 96, 97 MJ metal bolt insert stack of other cards at my local dump reuse center in good condition. That's awesome, man.
Dope, man. That's so awesome. You gotta love that, man.
Shane says not cards, but got Vikings, Packers tickets, and Lambeau Field in January. Pretty excited. That is awesome.
That is sick, man. Heck yeah.
I got a card that you would like, Shane. I got a Aaron Rodgers rookie PSA 10.
He's a Vikes guy, though. I think. Sure you're from Minnesota, right, Shane?
My bad. Never mind.
He's like, you could take that Aaron Rodgers, turn that sumbitch sideways.
Derek said, I think you need to just press those to some, or pass those to some Cleveland fans you know watching this video.
Yeah, I might know a guy. by the name of Derek that lives in the northeastern Ohio area.
My bad, Shane. My bad, buddy. My bad. I got that totally mixed up. I apologize. You feel like you hate the Packers like we hate the Patriots and Ravens. So I can dig it.
That's like, hey, Nate, do you want a Joe Flacco jersey?
Like, yeah, I need toilet paper.
Exactly.
I mean, we're towards the end of the pandemic and everything else, but I'll take it anyway.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, what do you have planned so far for the national? Any big plans, or what are you setting up to do and everything about there?
As of right now, it's going to be weird because I'm not sure like who I'm going to be with all the time. I know I'm going to be there like Huddle Card Collection. They're going to be there with me, so I'm pretty sure we have like not the same room, but like connecting rooms, if that makes sense. So I'm sure I'll probably be hanging out with those guys most of the week. But I right now I'm just trying to set up like collaborations and stuff like that. Connecting with some other content creators that are going to be there. The big thing for me in going there, honestly, is I want to recoup my money in the bargain boxes. So like business trip, right? Like this is like going to Disneyland for a card collector. So I'm going on a business trip, guys, and I want to recoup whatever money I have to spend getting there and travel, hotel, all that stuff, just in the bargain boxes, which I think is possible. I definitely think is more than possible. And honestly, like the main reason I want to go is not just to experience it, but to like capture it too, like because I want to get at least 2 weeks worth of vlogs and stuff like that I can put on the channel. I think that'll be really awesome.
I purposely waited to do my tax return so it'd come back before the national, and that alone in the backlog. I just keep getting stuck in backlogs. Is my story over here. PSA and now the government sending me money. So thanks to the IRS for backlogging the thing and not sending money. I appreciate you not sending me that, because now I'm going to be not going to the national.
D-Rock wants to know if us two pros can give him advice to running something on YouTube. Well, sure. Absolutely, man. Not necessarily a pro. They can tell you that. I'm a blithering idiot behind the scenes. But I will definitely do my best to help you out with that, my friend. Do you have a YouTube channel, D-Rock? If you do, man, drop your link. That way people can go follow you and be a part of whatever you want to run on there. But first thing I did personally was I reached out just like you're doing to somebody that actually was doing it. Like I was like, all right, Nate, I think we need to hit up Deafness, because Deafness is kind of like, in my opinion, like the godfather of like YouTube auctions. You know what I mean? Like you got to pay respect to the Don. So I reached out to Def and I was like, hey man, when do you think would be a good time to do one? Because like, for example, like right now, if we were doing one, there probably wouldn't be as many people there as there normally are, because this isn't like the best time slot for this type of thing. So finding a good time slot that would kind of reach a bunch of people and make sure you're not necessarily kind of going over like other people's time, because not that it would like upset me, but it does get some people really butthurt if like you go live over their time. Those are kind of like unwritten rules of YouTube that people don't really tell you up front. You know what I mean? So just be kind of mindful of your space. And as long as you do that, like, dude, you'll be fine, man. Like me and Nate will definitely give you shout outs. I'm sure Def will. And, a lot of the guys in the community definitely help you get up and running. That was big for us. Like, that's the other thing, in going to Deafness and asking for help. He was like, every time we were in the chat, hey guys, make sure you go check out Picksburgh and Every Day I'm Hustling. They're doing an auction on Sundays, So pretty much just letting people know what you do, man. And just being consistent with it. Be willing up front to like take an L on some cards, but like I said, don't put like the stuff that you're banking on to pay your bills in it. Like put stuff that you're just don't care about. It's like I said, this monster box that's been sitting here since the pandemic, like was roaring hot. It's stale inventory. Like for all that, I might as well just mark that down to like 50% of its value and blow it out. Let somebody else make the money and sit on it for several months or however long it's going to take. But again, that's it. Everybody has a little bit different way of doing it. You can still make just as much money sitting on it and just getting the slow dime. I've just always been more of a fast nickel guy, because the way that I'm able to take advantage of good deals is having money or assets that are liquid enough to turn into money really fast. So for me, like I have to turn and burn, like I've even seen like Sasha T talk on vlogs about leaving meat on the bone, because then people are going to keep coming back to you and stuff like that. So it's just good business, especially in this type of a market, is to take care of people, because then they'll want to come back and do business with you again. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you want to do business, you want to make sure the customer's happy, and anytime you can give a deal, that's just the easiest way to get that done. You know what I mean? And if you're able to give deals on a consistent basis, then instead of them checking the eBay or other places, they're going to come to you and be like, hey, any chance you have this? And they'll be like, yeah, I got that. And then you maybe make a little more money, or give them a deal, but maybe it's a little cheaper than, or a little more than what you'd make using eBay or something like that. You know what I mean? So it gives you a lot of flexibility, and it also gives you, a nice portfolio of people to come knocking at your door and not have to advertise and get, because in business, advertising and just getting your name out there, that's what costs so much money to get started, and letting people know, the masses, hey,
Yep.
I have a business, I do this, I have cards, I have packs, I have supplies or whatever, you know what I mean? And without them knowing, you can't make any sales unless you have awesome word of mouth. So, word of mouth and good sales and deals can easily get that done, and have a lot of people want to go talk to you and deal with you. And
Absolutely.
then next they're calling you up like, hey, any special deals on anything this week? And next you're moving maybe stuff that maybe you made a bad buy on, you just want to get it out the door or whatever, and you're able to make money that way.
Yeah. Dude, I'm to the point now where like I don't even have to post certain things on IG. Like I just have people hit me up like, hey, do you have any Jason Tatum? Do you have any, X, Y, and Z like player? Like I have one guy that hits me up for Nuggets all the time, and so anytime I'm out and I see some like cheap Jamal Murray, Jokic, Porter Jr., like any of the guys I know he likes, I grab them. Same with like Dolphins. We have a lot of people in our auction that are big Dolphins fans. So if I see some Tua or some Dan Marino or something sick, like I always try to pick it up. And the nice thing is, like the way I do a lot of stuff, digging through bargain boxes and stuff, I can afford to give the deal. You know what I mean? If I ain't got nothing but $1 a piece into the cards, or $3 a piece, or whatever it is, whatever bargain box I'm digging in at the time, like by all means, most of the time I literally just start lots at whatever I paid for them, and then let you guys decide how much I make on them.
Derek said, I have talked to Warcraft about maybe doing a joint stream. You guys have mentioned maybe hopping on sometime. I mean, anytime that you want to hang out with us on, auction or whatever, let us know. We'll try to make sure, we can get something together or whatever.
Definitely, man. Most definitely. We can definitely work something out. We got you, D-Rock. You very well might be going to that Cavs draft party. You just got to do me a big favor. If Anderson Varejão's there, you have to let him know. His presence is requested on the YouTube channel Picksburgh. That's the only deal. If Varejão's there, you're gonna be my wingman. My man.
Dirk says he has made a accord, made a deal, got yourself a deal. I mean, I'm hoping. The market, comes back. It seems like whenever the start of the seasons, there's always the ramp up, and that, from what I was looking at data wise, it seemed like that was the best time to sell. Like, your cards and stuff like that, like before the season. I mean, especially if you got some Trevor Lawrence's and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Because if he comes out and throws 5 picks in his first game, instead of his cards being, say, $2,000, PSA 10 silver, whatever, now it might be 1,000, and then he has another bad game, and then it's 200, and then now people are giving his cards away. So it's the market moves so quickly, and with football games, each game is even heavier than a basketball game. You can have a bad hoop game, his price might rock down a little bit, people might get a little antsy sell, but it's going to take a few games or injury to really make that happen. But with football, a benching is like, it could be career threatening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially from a quarterback perspective. So like if I had any Trevor Lawrence, I'm usually a hold guy. I'm selling that stuff because I mean, if you guys remember the LaMelo market, there was PSA 10s of his going for 2,000 plus, right after when the market opened and people were sending them to the PSA, getting them expressed and super expressed and everything else.
Yeah,
like look what the market's at with those cards right now. Those have dipped as well. So it's more or less like jump in when the craze is hot and then get out before it starts to die down because you end up holding the bag or possibly losing a nice chunk of money that you could have had.
Yeah, that's kind of what Brad does over at Comeback Card Investor a lot. He's like a seasonal investor to where like most of his stuff he's been buying all year has been football. So he's basically just been buying like a squirrel and stashing away the nuts. And like now that football is like hot and heavy, he's like cashing out big time. You know what I mean? Like, which is super smart. Because like the whole time, like off season, I just kept buying basketball because it was such a value. You know what I mean? It's like, you mean John Morant's prices are down 40%? I can go out and get an auto. Sure, let me go ahead and do that. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely.
Yeah, I think people are looking at it like how I was saying the other day. Like, it's going to be almost like a Zion effect. It's going to be with football, and even though I wish I'd have thought about that earlier.
Don't we all? You know what I mean? Like, luckily Brad did, so if we were watching him and doing what he did, we'd all be sitting on like a mountain of Justin Herbert and Patty Mahomes and Brady and whoever else. But honestly, man, like 2021 has been such a weird year for me because 2020 was mainly like a investment type year, like as far as like my buying habits. 2021 has been completely opposite, man. Like I've gone so heavy PC this year. Now obviously I'm still buying and selling a lot of stuff, but I'm not necessarily going out and like investing in picking up like say a Giannis rookie like I was, or like some of the big investment pieces. Most of the stuff that I've been keeping as investment pieces is like stuff that I've ripped, traded for, bought from flipping other cards and stuff. And mainly like, dude, like I said, like the low end stuff is so liquid for me. Like it's insanely liquid, man, especially graded, because everybody can afford to pay $20 for a graded card. You know what I mean? Like even like people overseas in third world countries, if they save up, they can get their dad, a GMA 10.
Derek says, I hit a nice score throwback rookie at Pitts and Lawrence, was hoping they'd be higher value. The move on some of that stuff, especially now that PSA has their Express, which it's $200. I don't know if that would be a good move, but it gives you an option to be the first with a PSA 10 of one of those guys in that set. So, you could go that route depending on what the value. I don't know what the value of that Lawrence would be because I haven't really been into too much of the football stuff because I was just too late to the party. But a move like that could be what you could do, or you could just sell it raw and have some amazing pictures and, basically get close to that value for it, just needing someone to want to invest and send it in.
Yeah, definitely. So with a little bit of the decline, has that changed any way of how you've been doing like your investments lately? Like I said, I switched from mainly going after the high end to playing a lot more with the lower end stuff, just because for me it's easy to move, because if cards are dropping, typically a $5 card's still pretty close to $5. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't really move too much out of that price range unless they do something super phenomenal, and then it's like, wow, my $5 card's now worth 10, or whatever like the multiplier would be or whatnot.
So I don't have a lot of time to go to the different stores and dive in the bins. Like I've got a couple of shows that are near us and stuff, but you almost have to be in the able to dive in those bins like that and get those type of deals, because like we were talking about earlier, like with shipping and stuff with eBay and Kari, and even if you bought something on social media, unless you're buying like a lot of Lawrence off somebody on social media, it's harder to get that awesome price point. You know what I mean? So
definitely.
I haven't really messed with too much of the lower end stuff. I still have a lot of my investment pieces or higher end pieces. What, like some of the mania with football, I'll probably be jumping into, especially once Prism and stuff comes out.
Dude, you know what you need to do? How far are you from like Bridgeville area?
I think it's a little over an hour.
That sucks. I was gonna say you need to hit up Kells sometimes, bro. You could like literally wreck his dollar bins and like get all kinds of like football heat. Like I was finding Trevor Lawrence's and stuff like that, Justin Fields in there. Granted, their scores, but I mean, like for $1 to get a Trevor Lawrence, especially right now where he's super hot. Like literally, he's just pulling them out. It's a score. Throw that in a dollar bin. You know what I mean? Like that's what I love about Kels, man. Is like he gets so bombarded with cards and buying out collections that unless it's something that's like really going to make him money, he's like, screw it. I'm just going to like blow it out for $1 or $3. You make so much money doing it that way.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you have the time and the amount of stores that basically you go to, like Ohio and in the Pittsburgh area, like that is that's the awesome way to get your inventory.
And the great part about doing it that way is you can actually, like, obviously I'm not bringing my magnoscope or any of that stuff with me, but with the naked eye test, you can at least kind of tell, like, okay, is this in range of at least a 9? You know what I mean? Because when I'm looking to buy stuff to grade, for the most part, I'm looking to get 9s. Unless I'm going to a company like a GMA where they're like basically 10 gets you PSA 9 value, then I'm pretty much looking just for stuff that I can say is pretty close to gem mint so that I can guarantee myself X, Y, and Z as far as profit. But for the most part, if I'm going a PSA route or if I'm going BGS, SGC, any of the major companies, I'm perfectly fine with 9s. Nate, how about you? Are you good with sending out cards and getting 9s back, or are you basically a 10 guy?
It's I mean, especially with how PSA is right now, like with just having the Super Expresses, it's almost got to be 10s for me, and that's kind of what the market seems like, where it has to be for getting some of these pieces that you'll see some movement on, like the silvers and things like that. Like the 10s seem to hold, even when there is somewhat of a decline or a settling in the market and things like that. They don't run off too bad versus the 9s. You'll see them move a lot quicker, down the road, down the line from the settling and everything else. So now seeing, how everything kind of is working nowadays and how the market's changed, you know what I mean? You almost want to be in that 10 or in the silver 10 market, at least from my perspective, if you're going for investor pieces or you're hoping to really score during playoff time or anything like that.
Oh yeah, 10s are always going to give you your max dollar. I've been picking up a lot of stuff that's been like lower end or like grade even wise lately. Like I've been grabbing like it's insane, but like I've been grabbing like a bunch of Michael Jordan graded slabs at different card shops lately. Like just 90s cards, like nothing like spectacular, but just like graded in 8s. And I'm thinking like, man, like you can't even for $5 right now pay to grade a card, let alone it's a Michael Jordan, which raw it's probably worth at least $5, maybe more, being that it's Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, I've been even doing that lately and just like buying raw to raw or graded to graded, because just with like the explosion of grading right now and everything like that, and how hard it is to grade in most places, like I've been doing a lot more raw to raw sales. Like I haven't really done much raw to raw sales outside of like ungradable stuff, like really in a, I don't want to say a long time because we do the auction. So I literally buy just for the auction. But as far as my own personal cards that I'm grading and buying just to flip, most of the time I don't do raw to raw cards for that. Normally I hold it. And Nate, like right here, just in submission I'm getting ready to send out on Monday, I have 2 blaster boxes just here that I'm going to stick into this one submission just of cards that are graded for me. Like I have, you guys can't really tell right now, but like over here to the side, I have this thing right here. This is filled full of blaster boxes just like that of stuff I'm holding to grade. You know what I mean? And different submissions and stuff, since, I do bulk submissions because that's the way I'm able to make sure that I'm making money on stuff by taking less money per card or spending less money per card. That's right. The best part about bulk submissions, in my opinion, is being able to get in at that cheap bulk price. But typically I hadn't done a whole lot of, unless it was stuff that was specifically auction inventory, I hadn't really done a whole lot of raw to raw or whatever. But I've been finding myself, every once in a while saying, hey, you know what? Let me grab one of them boxes and just sell what's in it, because it's just not worth grading at the prices that things are right now. You know what I mean? Because then most of this stuff is low end stuff. So this is like GMA type fodder. You know what I mean? Like, right. That's something that I wouldn't even feel comfortable grading with SGC right now, because I'm not going to spend $30 on something that might be $30 graded. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just like one of those like you damned if you do, damned if you don't with certain cards.
Right.
But I do foresee a time where the hobby is going to get back to being a little bit more, I guess, even keel as far as like grading and stuff like that goes. You know, once PSA gets caught up and Beckett reopens, and like I just think we're in a good place as far as like the health of the hobby, because in spite of everything going on, things are still rolling. Grunt Dad, Cha, what is up, guys?
What up? Good to see you. Appreciate you stopping by.
My man, Grunt Dad. Gave you a shout out earlier in the show, my man. Talked about how we met on eBay.
Yeah, that's what I was checking out, like just because I was looking at that Rogers, because I still haven't sold it yet, and I'm still trying to figure out what to do with it, and it seems like it's holding where it's at, so I'm probably just going to hold it for now and wait till the season rolls out. I think more or less his market went down a little because of a little bit of worry of him retiring, but from everything that I was just reading and everything about it, like it looks like he won't retire from what they said, and they're not going to trade him, so he'll probably play out next year with the Packers, and then the following year they'll trade him to another team and he'll be able to go where he wants, I guess, or whatever. So I'll probably sell his card at some point during the season. I'll have to hold that for him. I mean, we're getting pretty close to what the season starting. What's the season started like middle of September, I think, this year.
How much you want to bet? You could have it listed right now at full comps, or even maybe a little bit above comps. He comes out week 1, throws 4 or 5 touchdowns, looks like a beast. Cha-ching.
I mean, I don't see him losing a step or anything from last year. I mean, you go from MVP candidate beating Brady and Mahomes and all these other guys, and basically having 2 decent weapons on the offensive side and having MVP. I mean, he's a safe bet in my eyes, especially like the one thing that makes him a little more, even maybe from an investment side, like still has a good chunk of years left. Like he's definitely on the backside of his career, but he's not slowing down yet. You know what I mean? So if he can do a repeat of last year and get to the to the championship game and win, man, his prices would skyrocket. But I don't think it's going to be with the Packers. So for me to believe in that and hope for that to happen, I would literally have to roll the dice and hope he gets traded to a contender, which I don't know if I'm all in on that, because who knows where he'll be next year, or if the Packers will let him go to a team that actually wants to go to. You know what I mean? So
I think he's probably done enough that he's like a safe bet for the Hall of Fame. So I think long term, it's a safe card to own and to have for investment purposes. But by the same point, like look at some other guys that are in the Hall of Fame that their cards really aren't what they once were. Like I just think of Dan Marino and John Elway as just two quarterbacks that, like, growing up, their cards were worth significantly more than they are right now.
So who do you think has a better shot to be in the Hall? Aaron Rodgers or Ben Roethlisberger?
My opinion, Ben Roethlisberger, because he has more rings and because he played for a considerably better organization.
I agree. I'm hoping that he doesn't give us a bad taste in our mouth after this year, because that could change things. Because whenever players tend to play over what they should, and that has a little bit of effect whenever you get some of these accolades after you retire and stuff like that, especially the Hall. So, I mean, he has the rings. That's the most important thing whenever you go with, like basically looking at like Hall of Fame and stuff like that. Aaron Rodgers does have, I think, 2 MVPs?
That's true, D-Rock. He did have MVPs. Big Ben did not.
So, like, Rodgers...
honestly, Rodgers is a better quarterback, but I just can't say he's better than Big Ben because I'm a Steeler guy.
I still think the
Rams stole one from us, Nate.
Yeah, he did.
2010. Well, technically, it was given to him by a man by the name of Rashard Mendenhall.
Yeah, he literally just said, "Here, Clay Matthews, here, take the ball. We don't want to win this game."
And literally one pick later, Chris Johnson is selected. Dang you, Steelers, taking Rashard Mendenhall.
All right, guys, we're gonna start winding it down. I gotta go to work at wake up at 3 a.m. So we're going to shut down the show. Thank you, everyone, for being here and hanging out with us. We'll be back tomorrow for our auction at 4 p.m. on Pittsburgh's channel. And anything you want to say before we leave?
No, I just appreciate you having me on again and everybody for being here. And like you said, come over, check us out on my channel tomorrow. We do auctions every single Sunday at 4. Rotates between my channel and Nate's. So you'll see this show on my channel next week as well. So make sure you follow us both.
And if there's anything specific you guys are looking for the auction, try and leave a comment in the bottom here. And this way we'll try and make sure we bring those cards to the auction, because we do try to bring cards that you guys want, because without bids and people wants, then we don't got an auction, right? So, all right, guys, we're out of here. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. We will see you tomorrow. Peace.